Hello there, Mr. Palmarin. This is Elijah Lemon showing off LEMONLE, my game that I am very proud of. So here I will walk you through it. Not quite as fancy as Yahtzee was last year, but it'll do. So at the top here, it says I should do it between 500 and 600 and 650 and 750. So I will put it to about 650 and 720. So that works fine. Okay, here is my game. I think it just looks best in this situation. I've made it so the answer will be swoop, and I will go through a series of games with you here to try and show how my game works. So I'll save this here. That resets this window. I will test out first crown. So swoop would go like this. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. We're going to try this again. I don't know what just happened there. So we're going to try crown. Swoop is supposed to look just like this. The W is in the wrong spot, so it is over there. C, R, and N are not in the word, and the O is in the correct spot, so it is there. I will have you note that as I am using the letters on my keyboard, they work just like the letters if I were to click them here. And backspace and delete and enter work on my keyboard as well. So I've tried crown. Next, I'm going to try oopsie. Okay, so oopsie, this is an English dictionary word. Oopsie works exactly like it's supposed to. If I were to write swoop again, you can see the O's are both in the wrong place. The P is in the wrong place. The S is in the wrong place. And there is no W in oopsie and no Y in oopsie, so the Y is gray. You'll also notice that on my keyboard, the O has remained green and did not change to yellow. That is how it should be. The P, W, and S are all yellow, which is perfect. Finally, we are going to guess loose. And if I were to have swoop there, this O is in the right place, so it is green. This O is in the wrong place, so we have the O over there. And the L and E speak for themselves. Let's go through and do a random round. So I will comment this out. This line of code finds me a random one, a random word out of possible answers. This text document using this chunk of code here. This I had AI do this for me because I did not know what I was doing, and I would have never been able to figure this out based on the very limited amount of experience that I have. This was also AI. This adds my key functionality. Other than that, everything else in this 381 lines of code is completely written by me. Aside from key little ideas here and there and understanding and a little bit of debugging, this was all me. So let's run a random round. I will reload this here, and let's start with swoop that we had last time. First letter is S. If we want to look at the word, it's going to be right up here in my dev tools. So the word's going to be 60. So I will guess 60. And it says you won. So it has total wins, win percentage, total losses. It tells me how many guesses it took to get 60. Gives me an option to play again. Now let's go and look. The next word is going to be tepid. Let's go and look at how I figured out the dual case, where there's two different letters in the guessed word or in the answer word. I actually tried this twice. So this first attempt at coloring them did not work well. It did almost everything that I wanted to, but if the answer was crown and I wrote boots, both O's would be yellow instead of the second O, or sorry, instead of the third O being green. So it's an obvious problem, and we fixed it in attempt 2. So instead of explaining this to you line by line, I have decided to write in the DevTools exactly what happens. I think that's the easiest way to show you. So this word is going to be tepid. So I am going to write trees. Okay. So as we can see, the first letter is green. So I replace that letter with a 0, not an O, it's a 0. A 0 will never show up in any of the guessed words, because if I went to right now type all the numbers, right now I'm typing the numbers on my keyboard and they're not going in, and that is by design. So 0 can't be in the guessed word, also because all the possible guesses in here, none of these have a 0 to start with. So that's basically a placeholder to make sure all the indices remain how I want them to sit. That means that if I removed the T, then E would be the 0th index and everything would be screwed up when I compare. This keeps things very easy, but you will never get a false positive. Let's say it was treat. Let's try treat. Treat, the second T does not show up green because when it looks at the word, it doesn't actually see a T in the first spot. And that is how I designed this to work. I'm sure you did something very similar when you coded your version. Okay, let's take a look at some of my challenges. So, I just explained this part, importing and finding words. So what I did, I went to Discord, and there was a large amount of people who had posted all of these on Discord. So I put them in text files and had them get imported. Sorting. How did I sort my code? I used functions for absolutely everything, everything that I could, because that works in my head. So past about line 60, when I'm just initializing everything and initializing variables and making sure everything is sorted, everything is functions. So this current L box, so this figures out which box I am going to type in next. It took me about a couple classes just to get this one figured out 100%. Took me a while. I had to work between my HTML and my main.js, modifying the IDs and the classes to make everything work, make everything get figured out. This guess function is very, very long. It's about 200, is that accurate? About 150 lines of code long. And that includes my first wrong attempt. Basically, this takes a look at a user guess when they hit enter and decides A, if they won, B, if they lost, C, if neither, how do I write all of the colors into the box and down onto the keyboard here below. What else can I show you here? Find the current box, type in, that was my current box. Add the pop-up window, HTML line 123. So this is one other part where I had to use AI because I just didn't know what to do here. I took a quick look at the notes and it wasn't very clear to me what to do. So I used AI for the template and then added my own things. So what this does is creates a pop-up window, and in my CSS it keeps it closed automatically. Where is it? Display equals none, or display colon none. This says that it will be hidden from the jump. So let's say I were to guess tepid here. This pop-up window is what I had to define in my main.js. Or sorry, not in my main.js, in my index. This is this whole chunk. This repeats itself with different words as the things held in the items, the paragraphs, and the header for a loss, and that is defined in my main.js under the win portion, which I can't find right now, but that's okay. Aligning and adjusting the letterboxes. So I remember showing you something where if I were to close this, window, or make it very small, right now it won't let me adjust the size of it. Why is that? Well, that's okay. Doing what I can. That'll happen. But I don't know why it's happening. There we go. If I try and close it, right now it works, and I don't know why it works. It just happened one day. I mean, because it's all coding and math, I must have done something different or changed something, but I don't know what it was. So I guess I just got lucky there. But before, all the letters would stack vertically. All of these, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this box right here would be the 6th underneath, and it would keep stacking vertically just like that. I fixed a lot of those problems by changing the paragraph or text boxes. I don't think I had paragraphs. I had some sort of text box. Changed them to spans, which made things a little bit better and fixed things. My index.html, a struggle was knowing how to section things off and what to do in certain situations. I ended up being okay, but I wasn't 100% sure the whole time if I was doing things in the way that the people would want me to have done it. I don't think it's probably as pretty as someone with more experience could have done. The style sheet. So in my index.html, this line right here is very important, and I didn't realize that until I was about 20 minutes into fighting with the CSS page, not understanding why it wasn't working. Had difficulty with scope. This is one thing that I struggled with a lot. I did not understand why variables were not able to be adjusted outside of functions. I also don't like the fact that I have to initialize the variable with a let or a const, because it just takes more time. I never understood why it had to be that way. It gave me a lot of reference errors. I think it was reference errors in my console. So we got a little bit of time left. We're just going to play a couple games here. And as I'm playing, I will explain things that poke out to me if I remember them. The word is going to be trust. So if I write tramp, and we're going to purposefully lose this one. There we go. So we lost. It tells me the word that I did not guess. It tells me how many total wins, total losses, and my win percentage, which is accurate. All right, let's play one more time before I let you go and grade some other ones. The word is going to be greed, blast. Okay, that's how it should work. Prune, and then greed, just for fun. Excuse me, 75% win odds. Pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with this project. Excuse me, I'm burping. This whole game, it was kind of fun to make. I don't think I would have done it in what's it called? PyQt5. I don't think I would have done it in PyQt5 if I could change my mind. I think I'm pretty happy with my decision. I needed the practice in this, and I am glad that I got to grow my understanding of JavaScript and and HTML and cascading style sheets. just a little bit more.